Story 1. My name is Alex Reed. I've been pulling the graveyard shift at a quick bite on the outskirts of Riverside, Ohio, for almost 3 years now. The job isn't glamorous, but it covers rent. And since I'm naturally nocturnal, working 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. actually suits me. After midnight, it's usually just me. The manager clocks out, the cooks finish cleaning and leave, and I'm left alone at the pickup window staring at the deserted parking lot under sodium lights, waiting for the occasional late-night straggler. It started about 6 weeks ago. Normal slow night, radio playing low classic rock. A black sedan with heavy tint pulls up. Male voice, flat and forgettable, orders a double cheeseburger meal, large fries, large Coke. Nothing unusual. At the payment window, he cracks his glass just wide enough to slide a card through. No face visible, only a gloved hand. He pays, I hand him the receipt, and he drives off without stopping for the food, just floors it into the darkness. I stood there holding the bag for maybe 5 minutes, figuring he'd circle back. He didn't. I set it aside, and an hour later, bored and hungry, I ate it myself. People forget stuff, get distracted, whatever. I shrugged it off. A week later, same thing. Same car, same voice, exact same order. Pays, drives away without the bag. I muttered out loud, "Seriously? Again?" But I still chalked it up to coincidence. The third time made me pay attention. Same sedan, same order. By now I recognized the cadence in his voice. Calm, almost scripted. After he left, I started keeping count. 4th time, 5th, 6th. Every 4 to 6 days, always between 1 and 3 a.m., always the identical meal. I began calling him my secret benefactor in my head. Free food is free food. Sometimes I even looked forward to seeing those headlights sweep across the lot. Weird but harmless. Then everything changed. October 17th, around 2 a.m. Familiar voice. Double cheeseburger meal, large fries, large Coke. I was already mentally prepping my late-night dinner, but after the order he added very quietly, "I hope you've been enjoying those burgers, Alex Reed." My stomach dropped like a stone. I don't wear a name tag with my last name. It's not printed anywhere customers can see. No reason on earth this guy should know it. My mind raced. Did I mention it once? No, impossible. Hands trembling, sweat beading on my forehead. Despite the AC blasting, I froze behind the counter, the speaker crackling with dead air. I pressed the talk button, voice cracking. "Who is this? How do you know my name? What the hell do you want?" I repeated it 5-6 times, my pulse thundering in my ears. No response, just the sudden roar of an engine. He peeled out, taillights vanishing into the night. The rest of my shift was hell. Every flicker of headlights on the lot made me flinch, my skin crawling like insects were marching up my spine. I kept glancing at the security cameras, half expecting that tinted sedan to loop back. When I dragged myself home at dawn, muscles aching from tension, there it was. A folded note on my doormat, tucked under the edge like it belonged there. Neat, precise handwriting in black ink. "I know what you did. You have 3 days." My knees buckled. What did I do? I'm 25, single, no drama, just flipping burgers and grinding levels in video games on off days. No exes with grudges, no bar fights, nothing. But he knew my door. He'd been here. I crumpled it in my fist, heart hammering, and barricaded myself inside, lights blazing all day. Sleep? Forget it. Every creak of the house settling sounded like footsteps. Next night he returned like clockwork. No order, just that voice, colder now. "Write this down. You have 2 days to bring me $10,000. Here's the location." An address spilled out. Some derelict warehouse in the forgotten industrial sprawl beyond Riverside. The kind of place where rusted chain link fences sag and weeds choke the asphalt. I laughed nervously into the mic. Dude, I make minimum wage. Where am I getting 10 grand? But silence. Then tires screeched, gone again. Inside, terror clawed at me. Was this blackmail? For what? Fragments of memory flickered. Some dumb college prank years ago. A car accident I walked away from unscathed. But no, couldn't be. I ignored it. No money, no way. Figured it was a sick joke from a coworker or online troll. But 3 nights later, home after shift, Netflix flickering as white noise, glass shattered like a gunshot. I dove to the floor, shards raining, convinced bullets were flying. Heart slamming against my ribs, I army crawled to the window. Empty street, porch light buzzing, a fist-sized rock on my carpet, wrapped in tape. Another note. 1 day left. My breath came in gasps. I could taste bile. Called 911, voice shaking as I spilled everything. The orders, the name, the addresses. Cops came, dusted for prints, nothing. Checked the warehouse, empty but fresh tire tracks. Get cameras, change locks, stay vigilant, they said. No footage, no case. I called in sick, boarded the window, but bills loomed. Quit? Move? Impossible on my pay. That was 4 days ago. I thought it might fizzle. Wrong. Last night, my first back at work, I locked up at 6 a.m., paranoia gnawing, and drove home in circles to lose any tail. Apartment complex quiet, dawn breaking gray. Unlocked the door, stepped in, and froze. The air felt wrong, thicker, laced with faint cologne I didn't own, musky and sharp. Living room trash subtle, couch cushions flipped, fridge door ajar with a single Whopper meal inside, cold and untouched, wrapper printed with today's date. But worst, on my coffee table, Polaroids. Dozens. Me sleeping on the couch, mouth slack. Me showering through the steam glass. Me at work, smiling at the drive-through window. Time-stamped weeks back. Top photo. Me at 17, high school yearbook pic from an old Facebook post I'd scrubbed years ago. Scribbled on it, I know what you did that night, Alex. No more free rides. Pay or I visit. For real. My vision tunneled. Legs gave out. That night, the accident 5 years ago. Drunk teen crash on a back road. No one hurt but the other driver. Vanished from reports. Hit and run whispers I'd buried. He knows. He's been inside multiple times, while I ate his burgers like an idiot. I grabbed a knife, checked closets, under bed, nothing. But the cologne lingered. Police again? They'd laugh. Prints wiped, no forced entry. Tonight's my last shift before I beg for a loan to vanish. But headlights just swept my window. Engine idling. Waiting. Story 2. Picture this. You're driving alone on a pitch-black rural highway at 3 a.m., no other cars for miles, when you spot a vehicle dead in the middle of the road, hazards flashing. 2 people stand in front waving frantically. They look like an ordinary middle-aged couple. They warn you the bridge ahead has collapsed and you'll drive straight into the river if you keep going. They point to a side road through the woods, longer but safe. Now imagine you almost believe them. My name is Caitlin Morgan. I'm 27, graduated with a communications degree 8 months ago, and still haven't landed anything real. So I live with my parents outside Columbus and drive for Uber and delivery apps most weekend nights. Friday and Saturday evenings are prime. Bars close. Drunk college kids need rides. Surge pricing hits. That Saturday it was around 1:30 a.m. I was exhausted, ready to log off after a mediocre night. One last ping came in, pick up downtown, drop off way out past the suburbs, almost an hour's drive. The payout was solid, so I accepted. Passenger was a normal student, chatty, grateful. I dropped her, turned around and started the long, empty drive back. 10 minutes in, I see it, an old pickup straddling the lanes, hazards blinking. A man and woman, mid-40s, waving both arms. My first thought, trap. But then the human part kicked in. What if they really need help? I stopped 20 yards back, cracked the window an inch. The woman approached, voice urgent but oddly rehearsed. The bridge up ahead collapsed this afternoon. We nearly went over ourselves. If you keep going, you'll end up in the river. Take the left turn off. Dirt road through the woods. It's longer, but it'll get you to the highway safely. The man nodded, pointed. I asked how far. Couple miles, you'll see it. I thanked them, closed the window and drove on, but every instinct screamed wrong. I couldn't say why, just a cold knot in my gut. I passed the turnoff, narrow dirt track vanishing into thick trees. I slowed, stared, then kept going straight. Minutes later, the bridge, old, weathered, but completely intact. No collapse, no damage. I crossed without issue and hit the main road, finally exhaling. I didn't sleep that night, kept replaying it. What if I'd turned? 4 days later, I drove back in daylight. Bright sun, everything less menacing. Reached the turnoff, and there was a new sign nailed to a tree, dead end. It hadn't been there before. I would have noticed. I pulled over, stepped out. Quiet forest sounds, birds, wind. I wanted to walk a little way in, curious, but my feet wouldn't move. Then a scream tore through the trees, high, female, pure terror, from deep inside the woods. I sprinted to the car, slammed the door, floored it. Haven't been back since, but I still wonder what was down that path. Story 3. Imagine being the only person in a massive gym at 3 a.m. Monitors glowing, air conditioning droning, when you notice someone on the farthest treadmill. He's sprinting, hard, no shoes, and blood is pouring from his feet. My name is Jaden Clark. I was 20, taking a gap year before college, and working overnight at Iron Pulse, a 24/7 gym in a rough part of South Detroit. Keycard access only, so nights are quiet, maybe 2 or 3 members total. I sat in the office watching cameras, did occasional walkthroughs, wiped equipment. That shift was 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. By 2 a.m., I'd finished rounds and paperwork, so I settled in to monitor screens. One guy on a treadmill in the back corner. New face, running at 9 miles per hour. Impressive. 10 minutes passed. 15. He never slowed, never looked away from the wall ahead. I zoomed the camera. Ragged clothes, long tangled hair, and barefoot. On concrete and treadmill belt at that speed, his feet should have been shredded. Policy says shoes required, so I decided to go remind him. Walked out, turned the corner, and stopped dead. The treadmill deck was slick with blood. Every stride sprayed and dripped. His soles were torn open, raw meat, but he kept pounding, face blank, mouth wide, eyes fixed forward like he was in a trance. I shouted, "Hey, you need to stop! No shoes allowed!" No reaction, just the rhythmic thump-thump and wet slaps. Louder, "Stop the machine! You're bleeding!" He spoke without breaking stride, voice raspy and cold. "Are you there?" I yelled again. Same response. "Are you there?" Over and over. Blood pooled under the belt. I ran back to the office, grabbed my phone to call police. Glanced at the monitor. He was staring straight into the camera. Sprinting, bleeding, mouth open, eyes locked on the lens. Then he jumped off, didn't even stop the belt, and vanished from frame. I flipped through cameras. Gone. Until I checked the employee hallway feed. There he was, 6 feet from my door. How? That corridor requires a key card. I slammed and locked the door. Seconds later, the knob rattled violently. He started screaming, not words, just a deep, guttural, inhuman howl. The door shook. I called 911, whispering what was happening. "Officers, 5 minutes out." He screamed for 3 solid minutes. I crouched in the corner, phone shaking, convinced if he broke in, I was dead. Then silence. Cameras empty. He was gone. Police searched everywhere. Nothing. I quit the next day, never went back.